Very good morning to all of you. So now in this lecture we are going to start the topic which is related to the thesis writing, and the next topic will be the publishing ethics. So let us start with the thesis writing, because this is also an important part of your coursework. After your entire investigation and research and your findings, you have to make a presentation of your entire research work, or it should be documented in a written form. So when we talk about the report, it may be in the form of a project report or a research report or a thesis or dissertation or a MPhil, anything which you are going to document your entire research work, that comes under this topic of thesis writing and publishing ethics. So what is the structure and component of scientific reports? It is very important that a research report is a culmination of the research process. What is the research process? You all know that it starts from the evaluation or identification of the problem and ends with the findings and your discussion. So this entire process that has to be documented in the form of a report, that is very important part of the research. So it is a comprehensive presentation of the researcher's activities that has been done in the entire uh, the time period which has been devoted in doing the research. So a research report could be an individual project report, such as a master's degree dissertation, which you have all of you have been done in your master's level. Dissertation is very important part of the master's degree, and then that may be a thesis for a doctoral degree, which you are going to submit in your final completion of your research. So, for example, an individual research report on effect of class size on teaching practice and students' behavior and attainment. This may be a topic of a research which you have to be done in using the entire process of research. So a report could be a product of the collaborative group research work. For example, a report of the UNICEF state project entitled Nutrition, Health, Education, Environmental Sanitation, and Impact on the Study, or any topic which may be related to science, commerce, management, social science, humanities, anything, any topic may be there, that has to be documented in the form of a report. There is a set format for that. We will discuss that here in today's topics. So in other words, you can say a research report is an end product of a project work which you have done. It contains the description of the events, pertinent facts. Hmm? Slide नहीं पड़ी. Slide बन रही है. कीपैड नहीं काम कर रहा, बढ़ नहीं रही स्लाइड आगे। माउस से नहीं हो रही। So, so this is the first slide in which I have discussed the different topics. So a report is a statement of an investigation or of any matter on which the definite information is required. This is the definition given by the Oxford English Dictionary. So the above discussion emphasized that a research report is a tangible product or output, especially a written, printed, or a published document for communicating specific data and ideas of an audience. So if you are doing a marketing research for a newly launched product in the market, so that market research is important for someone to take decisions. And if the market researcher will not present a report or a PPT presentation in front of the decision makers, that will be of no use. The report which you are making or producing, that is important for someone who's going to take decision related to that. So if you are doing analysis of a financial statement, that is also come in the form of a report that has to be needed by the persons who are the financial directors of a company to take further decision related to the working capital management or how to generate the funds for running the business. The report may be in the form of a presentation or in a written document form is important. The government is also investigate certain things that has to be presented in the form of a report. So Reserve Bank of India is also present an annual report. All the banks that have to be present the annual report. The report is important for any investigation, any research, or which has to be done. So it contains the information which are observed or investigated with a specific purpose. So it is a record for future use by other researchers, a scholarly outlet of to disseminate the ideas and information. So if you go through the websites, you can get a large number of theses are available, a large number of research papers are available on the Scopus and Web of Science. So these are also a form of a report or a form of a document that is to be needed for your research also. And if you are doing now, you are at the stage of review of literature. So you are going through the different reports, different theses which are available on different websites and of different universities. So that may be useful for you to further have an idea of what the other authors have already been done on related to that topic. The report is important part of any research. Purpose of research report: dissemination of research outcome findings. So you are doing your research also, and your topic on which you are working, that may be useful for the government or some organization, companies, or those who are going to investigate the cause of a particular disease. That will come in the form of a report. So that that findings which you have to investigate, that may be useful for someone. If the thesis is not useful, then it is of no use. So whatever topic you have to choose, that has to be have some purpose, either for the companies who are working on that, or the governments, or NGOs, or any organization. So the thesis should be purposeful. The topic should be a purposeful topic. Otherwise, it is of no use. Use a reference material or for review of related literature to get guidance and to record and utilize the findings for further work. So if you are doing some writing some literature review paper, so that has to be based on the literature which is already available on different platforms, and you are using that review, and you are giving your opinion about that, what the authors have already said is true if you are investigating some phenomenon. Reproduction of research method in different contexts is that if you are working further on a particular topic, future research. So a medium to share research experience and results of research. That is also possible through a document, that is a report. When we talk about the structure of a scientific report, the first and an important part is the title which you are deciding. Tell me what is the basis of deciding the topic? I have already told you when I was taking the first unit, basics of research methodology. What is the method to select a topic? Hmm? Anybody remember what I have already explained you? The method of deciding a topic.
So the topic should be specific, clear and purposeful.
That is written here. I am talking about what is the process of selecting a topic. How can you select a topic? All of you have a topic in your mind on which you are going to do research.
Sir, previous literature को पढ़ के
Research gap.
Yes. Research gap. Yes. The previous. Yes, you are right. हम पहले previous literature, we'll go through the previous literature and what is in our mind on working on that particular topic, that has to be matched with that. If the work has already been done, then there is no use of working further on that topic. So what portion of the research content has been left, has not been done, your topic should be related to that. And that is possible only if you will go through the literature thoroughly. तब मैं कहता हूँ कि you all have to do at least 100 literature review. At least 100. Then you come to our research question and research problem. Otherwise, your work may have already been done by somebody else in some other universities. Huh? And on that topic you are working, there is no use because it's already been done. It's a duplicacy of research. So topic is very important part. It's what is the purpose? To sum up your work in a single phrase or a sentence. It needs to be clear, specific, brief. Its meaning should be obvious to most readers. It should not be, should not use any language which is not understandable to a layman. So the purpose of your topic is that the work which you have already been done, that is to be summed up in a phrase, in a sentence, like effect of environment on the effect of, for example, environment on the plants, or any other topic which is which you may have in your mind. The role of public private sector enterprises in providing employment opportunities in a particular city, or if you are doing a scientific research that I do not have a very good idea of that, but maybe you may have in your mind on which you will start working after completion of your coursework. So the purpose is very important. The topic should clearly depict what you have done on what particular topic you have done. So it should be clear. So whenever you make your synopsis, you have to decide the topic should be very clear, very specific, and meaningful to entire research work. Technical terms and abbreviations should only be used if they will be familiar to the readers of your report. If you are working on a scientific research or some medical science, then it will be understandable to the people who will read that. If I am working on commerce and management, then I'll understand that whatever the abbreviation and the wordings we will use, it will be understandable to those who are under my field. It should be specific, means provide sufficient information to enable the readers to know the research is likely to be of interest to their own field. Brief, avoid obvious phrases like the role of, the study of, an examination of, an investigation into, research into, an experiment on. The titles with these words are often too long, but we generally use these because the supervisor, the research experts who come in the RDCs, they add these words, an study, an investigation, or a study, an examination, or an assessment. The titles with these words are often too long or not descriptive enough. Example of a good title is Gender Inequality in Education and its Effect on Poverty, a case across state study of India. So this is a clear topic that what you have done on this topic. The title page, which is also known as the cover page of your thesis, contains all the key information about the document. And you almost know that what is written on a front page of a book or a thesis. You know all. Thesis title, the researcher's name, your name, your enrollment number if required. The type of document, example thesis or a dissertation which you have already been done in your master's. The department and institution of the university name, their logo, the degree program, PhD or masters. So the date of the submission in the last, generally we use in the last line. It's a below, uh, in the last of the page, first page. The date should be there. It sometimes also include your scholar's enrollment number, supervisor's name, and your university's logo. Generally, in our university, we do not use the supervisor's name on the front page, but in other university, it is mandatory that you have to mention the name of the supervisor also on the title page. So it depends upon, or it is depends upon the university guidelines, rules, and regulations. So university will usually tell you exactly what should be included on your title page and how it should be formatted. So be sure to check whether there are specific guidelines for margins, spacing, and font size, etc. If you go through our website, it is available there how you will prepare your thesis. What is the guideline of preparing a thesis is available on the websites of iul.ac.in, and you get it how to what is the format or framework of the thesis to be used in your thesis. This is a general format of our university, which I have taken to show you. In the last, you can see the date, that is October 2024. This thesis has been submitted by Samia Farooq in Commerce, Doctor of Philosophy. The title is on the top, and the thesis is submitted in partial footnote for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Commerce. This is a format which has been used here in this university. Other documents, supervisor certificate is required. If you have a co-supervisor also, so another certificate is also required from the co-supervisor. If it belongs to this university or any other university, you have to take the co-supervisor certificate also. And next to the supervisor, it has to be pasted in the or spiral in the thesis. Declaration, you have to declare that nothing has been taken from anywhere, and this topic has not been submitted anywhere in any university. And a clear declaration form is available on the website. You can go through that. Acknowledgement, you have to acknowledge those who have helped you in your thesis writing. Abstract is the summary of your entire thesis. Abstract is prepared at the last of the thesis or on the first of the thesis? Hmm? Last. If you will prepare an abstract at the last, it will give a clear, correct picture of your entire work. List of abbreviation, list of symbols you are using in science, list of figures and tables is also there. It's important. A list of tables should be prepared. After the contents, you will have to write the list of tables, and another page you will have to write the list of figures, and then you have to write your contents. Contents may be a first or maybe a last after that. So this is the about the acknowledgement. So you all know that to thank those who are directly or indirectly involved in your work. In our university, we have to acknowledge our chancellor, our pro-chancellors, our vice chancellor, registrar, controller of examination, dean research and development, and then the supervisor and your head of the department, the dean, and then your friends or family members. So this is our format in our university. It's not mandatory that you have to acknowledge everybody. It depends upon you. But generally, when we have to check the PhD of the students, we generally try that everybody should have the similar format of acknowledging the authorities of this university. So it will give a good picture. So do not confuse the acknowledgement section with the dedication. This is not where you thank your friends and relatives unless they have helped you with our manuscript. What is dedication? Is there any difference between acknowledgement and dedication? Dedicated to your mother or father or anybody else who you want to, that it is different from the acknowledgement. Acknowledgement are about courtesy, where you thank those who are directly involved in your work or were involved in supporting your work, technicians, statisticians, analysts, tutors, or other researchers. Financial support if you are getting from somewhere else in some organization, hmm, ICSR or any organization from where you are getting any financial supports like Maulana Azad scholarship. If you are getting, then you have to acknowledge that also. So this section tends to be very brief. A few lines at the most identify those who provided you with the most support and thank them appropriately. Abstract, which is also known as summary of the entire work, to summarize the entire report for quick reading. It should include your reasons for doing the work, your methods, your findings and your conclusions. It needs to be both interesting and easy to read. So this summary should contain the entire work, start from your topic to your findings and your discussion. So in this summary, you will have to write the things you have already been done in your research. It's a independent or of the rest of the report. It's a mini report, you can say, uh, abstract of 10 15 pages attached with the thesis also, and which is required for the evaluator to whom we are sending the thesis for evaluation can go through the abstract first, and if he consider that this work is of my interest, then he will say yes, I will evaluate your thesis or not. So this is a conclusion of your research. The references should not be included in the abstract. This is very important. Nothing should appear in the abstract that is not in the rest of the report. Usually between 200 to 300 words, but in research papers, it is not more than, I think, 100 words. Write in the past tense in single paragraph. It is recommended that you write your abstract after your report. Introduction is the first topic of your thesis. What you write in the introduction? Tell me.
Statement about the problem used about.
Mhm.
Providing all the concepts related to it.
Mhm. About your
Cause and effect,
topic. What your topic first? Can I please?
topic and problem.
For example, it's a consumer behavior. So consumer, you will have to write about the consumer behaviors, about the topic. To state the research problem related to your topic. So, if I am talking about the consumer behavior, is a problem that to know the consumer behavior is very difficult. So, establish your hypothesis, provide justification, and state इसको उठा लो इसको वैसे घसीटो नहीं आवाज
थोड़ी जगह बनाना
अभी जरूरी है Include a clear statement of your hypothesis, which states what you expect your experiment to reveal. Hmm? If your work is not original, just give the current background information about the research problem. If it is original, you will need to provide a comprehensive literature review of the work preceding or closely related to it to show the gap in the existing knowledge. I have gone through the 880 research papers, and this is the gap which I have considered. That is on this problem, no author has been discussed in any of the research paper or research report. So briefly describe how you intend to answer the problem and give your results. Detail is not needed here. Leave that for appropriate sections. Write most of the introduction in the present tense. This is important part. Since you are describing a current problem and current conclusions, details of methods and results given in the introduction should be in the past tense. This last point is very important. Come to the literature review, which is also called literature review or literature survey or review of research. So you all know that how to write research, review of literature. I generally told my research scholars to prepare a chart form of review of literature. an Excel sheet. How many papers you have gone through, what are the discussion done in the paper, and write what is your observation at the last, and what is the gap you feel in that paper according to your topic or on the topic in which you want to work. So when you will make this chart, it will be very helpful in writing your review of literature at the last. And it will also be very important and easy to present in the RDCs. So what literature review you have done and what research gap you have evaluated from your review of literature. So this is a survey of publication, books, journals, authoritative websites, sometimes conference papers also, reporting work that has already been done on the topic of your report. It should only include studies that have direct relevance to your research topic, or research idea, or research work on which you want to work. The literature survey should be written like an essay in a descriptive style, with an introduction, main discussion, grouped in themes and conclusions. So every review, you have to first write the author's name, who's the author, what he said, yeah, and then what is your observation about that particular review, and at the last you have to conclude. And one line or two, 1.5 line or 2 line conclusion is also there in each review of literature. So this is the process of writing literature, and I expect all of you have already been started doing this. शुरू कर दिया आप लोगों ने? नहीं लिटरेचर नहीं कर दिया? लिटरेचर भी बहुत important है, and you should start that. Then only you can write your synopsis to finalize your topic. So introduce your review by explaining how you went about the findings, your materials, and any clear trends in research that have emerged. Group your text in themes. Write about each theme as a separate section, giving a critical summary of each piece of work and showing its relevance to your research. Conclude with how to review has informed your research. Things you will be building on, gaps you will be filling, etc. Materials and method that provide an extensive protocol for your experiment, which can be repeated by others. In most of the scientific research, which are to be conducted in the laboratory, certain materials are also required, certain apparatus are required to complete your investigation. So this is essentially an instruction manual to enable reproduction of work and should provide detail of experiment design, details of controls, experiment or observations used, including their purpose. This is all about the scientific research mostly, but in the social science research, it is not more important. Details of the data recording techniques, this is important for both social science as well as scientific research. Exact quantities and purities of the reagents, compound or systems in scientific research, technical specification of the apparatus used, specific method of the sample preparation, accurate nomenclature, precise details of any subject sample included in the study, details of the sampling protocols, etc. are important for, and comes under this material method. This is also in social sciences and management and commerce research. It is called research methodology. So you need to write your method section in such a way that a record would replicate the research you have done. So there should be no ambiguity here. So you need to write in a very factual, informative style. So after introduction, after review of literature rather, you have to write your research methodology. What comes under the research methodology? What is your idea about it? Because you have gone through a different literature, these papers and thesis also. Hmm? What comes under the research methodology?
How you want to conduct the research, the methods for conducting
Data collection method, type of tools,
Yes.
research design,
Mhm.
statistical method.
Sample size, sampling unit. So all these are, this is a framework of your research, how you will conduct your research. Sample design should also be there. You can start with the objectives, hypothesis. Either you can do it in the introduction part, or you can use it in the research methodology part, your objective and hypothesis. It depends upon you. And research design is also there. Sampling method, sample size, sampling unit, and how you have calculated your sample size, the formula should be mentioned there. What kind of research is this? Is it exploratory research or descriptive research, quantitative research or qualitative research? That has to be explained here in this research methodology part. So you need to state clearly how you carried out your investigation. Explain why you choose this particular method, questionnaire, focus group, experiment, interview method, observation method, whatever. Include techniques and equipments you use in the scientific research. If there are participants in your research, who were they? Hmm? Who are your respondents? Your respondents belong to which geographical area? That has to be mentioned in the research methodology part. How many respondents you are selected? How were they selected? All this comes under this. Write this section concisely but thoroughly. Go through what you did step by step, including everything that is relevant. You know what you did, but could be reader follow your description. Type of research, type of data, type of collection method, research design, and research process, etc. comes under this. Now come to the results, also called the data analysis and findings. Hmm? Sometimes some researchers in some university give the chapter with the name of the results, or in somewhere it is data analysis and finding, like in our university, it is data analysis and finding. So what is the purpose? To present your data in a manner that is easy to read and interpret. So this is where the core of the work is presented. Your experimental data clarity is essential, since the rest of your report center on what you present here. So after analyzing your data which has been collected through questionnaire, or if a secondary data that has been collected from different sources, it is to be analyzed here through the different statistical tools you have been used, or the software you have used, like SPSS or Stata or any other statistical tool, statistical software you use. What are the results comes under, has to be described in your data analysis and interpretation. It should not be finding, it should be interpretation. So the tables which give or extract by the SPSS, that has not to be, the similar table should not be presented on your thesis. It should be, if it is giving 2-3 tables, you have try to make it one. उसको आप एक टेबल बनाइए, 2-3 टेबल अगर एसपीएस देता है, और if you are working on Excel, तो जनरेट करना है, तो उसको एक टेबल में करके उसका प्रॉपर इंटरप्रिटेशन आप इसमें लिखेंगे. So the result section should keep kept brief, and repetition of method or result should be avoided. Relationship between your data should be described in the text. Your result section, you make a table and on the table you have to narrate what the table depicts, what table say in your interpretation, and then you can also put a diagram or a figure below the table, and that has also to be explained and properly titled. Never discuss the implications of your results in the result section. Save this for the discussion forum or discussion part. So your result section may have subheadings which complement the headings in your material and method section. Don't be tempted to exclude results that don't fit. Do not present all your raw data. A pre-designed representative sample is usually adequate. To make sure tables, graphs, and figures are numbered and labeled properly in this section of findings, or data analysis and interpretation, or the result. In the discussion part, to discuss the relationship between your results and how they relate to your initial objectives and hypothesis. Or the results of your pilot study can also be discussed here. What is pilot study? If you are doing collecting small data from a big data and you are doing analysis of that, and what are the results comes, that has to be discussed in the pilot study. Pilot study is important to know the accuracy of your questionnaire. आपने जो questionnaire use किया है, that is relevant or not, the questions you are asking in the questionnaire are relevant or not, and what result they will give. So it's a sample or a prototype, you can say, of your entire data. So you should provide major conclusions supported with the evidence and suggested future applications of your research findings. So do not summarize your results here. Discuss how your results are similar to or different from the published findings, and attempts to explain the differences in the secondary research. If you cannot find a good explanation for your results, admit it clearly. It is better to admit uncertainty rather than make a poor excuse. So you should be very fair in this and state your conclusions and build on them with evidence from literature, making sure you are clear with findings belongs to you. Discuss the significance of your findings and any future implications is the part of this discussion chapter. So write in the present tense most of time when discussing your data. Write in a past tense, and when discussing future implications, write in the future tense. Come to the references, which is also called reference list or bibliography. What is the purpose of this? To acknowledge sources to avoid plagiarism. Whatever part you have gone through, that has to be properly acknowledged or cited in your paper. In order to avoid plagiarism and strengthen your arguments with the support from the existing literature. Every piece of information that is included in your report or thesis or dissertation, excluding your original data, should be referenced. Any book, any website, if you are taking any figure, any diagram, that has to be clearly mentioned the source of that. If you are taking any table from any of the directory of the government of India, that has to be sourced properly below the table, below the diagram. So make sure that you include your reference as you write. Tracking back to find reference in a difficult task. It's a difficult task. Check with your department for advice on appropriate referencing system. So this is depends upon the university to university, and different university use different referencing method. So list here full details for any work you have referred to in the report, including book, journals, websites, and other materials. You may also need to list what you have used in the preparing your research report, but have not explicitly referred to. Check your instructions for this and for the correct style of referencing you are using. There are certain referencing styles. Common referencing styles are APA styles, MLA styles, Chicago, Harvard, IEEE, and Vancouver style. These are the different styles of referencing. Here I have explained the different styles with example. Common in social sciences is APA styles, American Psychological Association is the full name of APA. Common in social sciences, the key features are author, date in text, citation. Example, Smith 2023 is to be mentioned like that. Reference list include author, year, title, source.
So which one is very common there?
Yeah.
Which method, which style is very common for us?
APA style is very common in social science, but in science I don't know what your department
The social
prefer. In social science, the APA is more common in management and commerce.
then it should be as a common in entire thesis.
It depends upon which style you want to use.
So
Here, I generally use APA or differently writing research papers or thesis. My research scholars, they are using APA. Harvard style widely used across disciplines. The key features are author, date in text, citation, reference list with the detailed publication information. An example in the text like Smith 2023, reference list Smith J 2023, then title, then publisher name. So this is the Harvard means. We generally use this Harvard style in writing syllabus, references in syllabus. So this Harvard style is used. IEEE style is, I don't know, I think it is in engineering, in technical fields, engineering, IT, key features, numbered in text, citation 1, reference listed numerically. In list reference 1, Smith book title, publish 2023. The same example has been used. So where you have taken the reference, in the footnote you have to write that. And put 1 on the top of the paper where you have used the reference, and the reference you have to write in the footnote also. So this is, I think, the used in the engineering. MLA style is a modern language association used in humanities, literature, arts, key features, authors, page in text citation. Example, Smith 23, work cited page, work cite Smith John book title, publisher, and in the last year. Everything you have to mention here in this. So there is a very minor difference in MLA and APA. MLA and Harvard. Chicago style is also used in our university also, common in history and fine arts. Two formats, notes, bibliography, author date, key features, footnotes, and end notes are to be used in this. Also, bibliography or reference list, and that same reference will go to the bibliography part also. आपने जो अपने literature में use किया है, that has to be forwarded in your bibliography part also on that particular number which you have used. So generally in pre-PhD we have to check if the references are properly referred or not in the reference part. So that is very important. Whatever reference you are using, you have to make a list of that in APA style or Harvard style or whatever style you want, or which is applicable in this university. You can go through the websites and see. I don't remember. I think APA style is more common because we are not using this Chicago style in our department, management and commerce at least. Do you understand what is this Chicago footnote and endnotes? Vancouver style is common in medical science, medical and scientific research, and the key features is numbered in text citation, sequentially ordered reference list. Example here is Smith J. book title, publisher, and the year is, is referred. So there is no difference in Harvard and this also. This is the format which can differentiate the different styles like APA in social science, author year title reference. MLA humanities we generally use होता है author page, author title, publisher. In Chicago history and arts में generally use होता है footnotes or author date, footnotes and bibliography. Harvard multidisciplinary है and author year title. IEEE is for technical fields, engineering. The number is to be given 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. If there are 3 references, then 1, 2, 3, and in the footnote you have to write number. Vancouver in medical field, this is also like IEEE, similar. Appendixes. What are these? You have done your dissertation in masters. The purpose of appendix is anything which you want to enclose with your thesis, like questionnaire, is to be presented in the appendixes. In our university, whatever the paper we have published, like 2 papers in Scopus or Web of Science, that has to be appended in here in appendix. So to present additional data that is too extensive to be included within the main body of the text, that has to be enclosed in the appendix. The appendix are not included in all scientific reports, however, they are frequently included in the back of the thesis. The last pages are to be included with the indexes. For example, printouts of raw data or other supplementary materials, like in commerce, we use the balance sheet, profit and loss account, and trial balance or any other document, cash flow and fund flow statement of any organization can be appendix. The different types of material included in the appendix can be labeled as appendix 1, appendix 2, appendix 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. Some electronic journals now offer scientists the opportunity to include extra materials that are too extensive for main body for the journal articles in the E appendix. So the appendix hold any additional information that is to be required. If required, then has to be enclosed, or if it is not required, then avoid it. Types of reports. These are the different types of report: long and short report, internal and external report, vertical lateral reports, proposal reports, functional reports, informational and analytical reports, formal and informal reports, periodic reports, etc. These are the different types of reports which I will discuss here. Formal reports are carefully structured. That also depend upon the organization to organization. What is the format exactly in which the report is required depends upon that particular company or university or organization or NGO who require reports. That is called formal. And informal reports are not in a formal way presented to the organization. So the internal memorandum can generally be described as the informal reports. There is no need to be right in a formal way. Short and long reports, as the name suggests, this is confusing classification. A one-page memorandum is obviously short, and a 20 pages report is clearly long. So, but where is the dividing line? Bear in mind that as a report becomes longer, or what you determine as long, depend upon that, what is the requirement of that organization or a company who is asking for that report after investigations. Informational and analytical reports are important to know Information reports like annual reports, monthly financial reports, and reports of the personal absenteeism of the employees of any organization carry objective information from one area of an organization to another. Analytical reports, that is scientific research, feasibility report that are based on the proper analysis of the data that you have collected. Uh, like real estate appraisals present attempts to solve the problem. Proposal reports. The proposal, as you know, is a variation of problem solving reports. A proposal is a document prepared to describe how an organization can meet the needs of another. Most government agencies advertise their needs by issuing requisite proposal. REP or REP specifies the need and potential supplies. Proposal report, generally you can say if we are going through any project, asking for any project from organization, ICSR or any other organization or any NGO, they have their set format to send a proposal for that, in which in the last pages we have to write the budget of that research project. So that is the proposal report. Vertical and lateral reports, this classification refers to the direction of report travels. Reports that more upward and downward the hierarchy and referred to as the vertical reports. Such reports contribute to management control in the industry. That kind of a report, vertical and lateral reports are used. The lateral reports, on the other hand, assist in coordination in the organization. A report traveling between units of the same organization, like from finance to marketing to HR. Why are you late? I'm not late. Internal and external reports, because it disturbs the class when you come here in between the class, you are coming. Either you have to take leave or you have to come in time. Internal and external report, as this name also suggests that if you are sending the report within the organization, within the university, if the university is asking my department to send a report to the vice chancellor, that will be an internal report. If I am sending a report to the ministry of UP government or principal secretary, then that will be an external report. There is a different format and different way we have to write that report. Internal report travel within the organization, external report, such as the annual report, companies have to present at the end of the annual general meeting of the company. Likewise, periodic reports are issued on regularly scheduled dates, and they are generally upward directed and serve the management control, like production report, early production report, weekly production report, monthly production report is required by the marketing department in order to book the orders. So this is called periodic report. Sometimes the orders are frequently booked, so they need early report. So what is the production is coming out in every hour, in every week, in every day, in every week. So on the basis of that production capacity, the marketing department has to book the orders in the organization company. These are periodic reports. Functional reports, on the other hand, is include in accounting reports, marketing reports, financial reports, and variety of other reports that the organization need and that take their designation. But we are very much interested in the research report. So research report is have a set format in which we have to write introduction, then review of literature, and then research methodology, then analysis and interpretation of data, then finding, conclusion, and after that discussion, and after that recommendation. Recommendation में क्या करते हैं? कि what is left in your research that can be done by others. So you have to recommend others to do on that topic. So that is to be related to your limitations. Sometimes we have to make a chapter of limitations also, or sometimes we include limitation in this chapter also. These are my limitation and these are the recommendation that if you want to work on, I have worked on this geographical area, if you want to work on other geographical area, that will be a more important part. So we are concerned with the research reports. But we have to know the different types of report because this to be asked in the examination.
Sir, under which category research report falls into? Under these categories? Which category?
These are the different types of research report. So one of research report is also one of the report which is based on the investigation of the data, investigation of the any particular situation. After investigation, whatever you have to write, that should be in a format. And we were discussing, you were absent in the last few minutes. We have discussed that what is the format of writing a research report. And here in this topic, I have discussed what are the other different types of report that have been discussed here. Based on the nature of the research report may be the qualitative research report. It is a descriptive research report. It outlines the methods, processes, the findings, and the qualitative methods of scientific investigation. So in educational research, a qualitative research report provides an opportunity for one to apply this or a knowledge and develop skills in planning and executing quantitative research projects. So basically, this qualitative research is a descriptive research based on the observations and the existing knowledge of the researcher. They have to write this kind of a report. That is qualitative. It is not based on the numerical numbers or the numeric figures which come out after investigation of any data. So a qualitative research report is usually descriptive in nature. Hence, in addition to presenting details of the report process, you must also create a descriptive narrative of the information which you have gathered. On the other hand, the quantitative research report research is a type of a scientific investigation that pays attention to numerical or statistical figures, values in a bid to find answer to the research questions. Like I asked how many people in this class have mobile phone, and then the next is how many people have iPhone. So the figure that the data will come in the numbers. And I can say that out of 100 students, 5 having iPhones and rest of them they have other phones. So based on the target audience, scientific reports, also a research report can be said to be technical or popular based on the target audience. If you are dealing with a general audience, you will need to present a popular research report. And if you are dealing with a specified audience, you would submit a technical report. So general people are the part of your report, it is said to be the popular report. And if it is based on a specific target audience from whom you are extracting the data, that comes under the technical report. Technical research report is a detailed document that you present after carrying out industry-based research, and this report is highly specialized because it provides information for a technical audience, like summary of results, nature of the study, method of employed, data collection method, analysis of data, and presentation of findings. What I have already discussed in previous slides. Conclusion, bibliography, technical appendixes, and index or appendix. Popular research report, on the other hand, as I have discussed, is one of the general audience, that is for individuals who do not necessarily have any knowledge in the field of study like general people, A popular research report aims to make information accessible to everyone. The findings of their implications, recommendation for actions, objective of the study, method employed, results, and technical appendixes are to be presented in the popular research reports. Manuscripts and journal articles. Manuscript for a journal article is a research report presented in form suitable for publication in academic or a scientific journal. And if you are start writing your research papers, you have to take the MCN number from this university. You have to present your manuscript to the Dean R&D, and they will allot you a manuscript number that has to be presented or sent to your publisher, and you have to publish that number on the research paper. Sometimes they agree to publish, sometimes they do not agree, but you should have that number, which you will get it from the research and development department of this university after writing research papers. So that is called manuscript. Manuscript means the total project which you are presenting or representing for publication to somewhere else. And that has to take the approval from this university or any organization where you are presenting. A manuscript journal article is a research report presented in the form of suitable publication in academic or scientific journal. The journal articles are normally or reasonably concise and strongly written from a research report. In contrast to the technical report, journal articles usually do not go into extensive detail about all aspects of the project. These only explain the aspects which are required by the project provider. Thesis and dissertation, do you know that? And almost all of you have done your dissertation in the masters. Is typically written by the student or a scholar as a part of qualifying for masters or PhD or other higher degree. So the dissertation or thesis usually provide a detailed account of the design, method, results, the student research report, as well as normally includes a comprehensive review, previous studies and other literature on the topic. Sometimes the students also submit the summer training report or some internship report. The format of that report is different because it depends upon that is job based you have done or a research based. If your internship is job based, then you will have to write the task performed in that report and also the learning outcome, what you have learned. So this is the basic difference in the job based and the research based reports in your internship presentation. But in the dissertation, mostly we have to choose the research topic, and almost all of you have done your dissertation on the research topics. आप सबने किया होगा रिसर्च टॉपिक ही था, किसी का जॉब बेस्ड टॉपिक भी था, रिसर्च कहीं काम करके और उसका कोई लर्निंग आउटकम पेश करना था, नहीं, बहुत मुश्किल काम होता है. But in internship, it is possibility. There is a possibility of both job based as well as research. Monograph or books. So research monograph can be reformatted edition of the dissertation, thesis or other noteworthy research report. If you are going to convert your dissertation into a book, you have to convert it in a monograph, and that has to be presented to the publisher, and the publisher will need to edit that, and on the basis of the addition or reduction of some matters, that has to be published. So monographs are published by academia, presses, and profitably or scholarly publishers. So some people are, after completing a thesis, they have to send their thesis for publication as a reference book. Come to the steps in writing a research report. Number one is consulting instructions and guidelines to discover what is required for your report. As I have said that you have clear instructions, guidelines available on the iun.ac.in, and you can get it in the research section. You will find how to write your thesis. Anticipating your audience by asking who will be reading the report, who's going to go through your report after completing your research. Planning and carefully outlining the report's contents and structure, designing and preparing tables, figures, and other supplementary materials properly, as I have told you, drafting the sections of the report in the most productive order. You have to take care of the language you are use, the grammar, mistakes, grammatical mistakes are to be avoided, and the plagiarism should be checked properly, and should not use chat GPT or any other platform to in order to, if you want to use that, do it paraphrasing you have to use. Adding or finishing citations and references for the report, revising contents, editing language, and correcting errors. So, if you want to check the grammatical and English or communicational mistakes, then it is better that you have to give your report to somebody else to read it. And then, whatever the mistakes that are not, the errors you are not able to catch, the others may catch it. So this is the best way that the others should read your research report. Mechanics of writing a research report, size and physical design. It varies from company to company, and organization to organization, university to university. So the manuscript should be written in an unruled paper in a size prescribed by the university, the font, the ink, everything that has to be the margin, left margin, right margin, top margin, below margin, everything, the font size of the figures, the font size of the, sorry, the font size of the, headings, and the font size of the general running matter. It depends upon the organization where you are submitting the report. Procedure, various steps in writing the report should be strictly adhered. All such steps have already been explained earlier in this presentation. Layout, keeping in view the objective and nature of the problem, the layout of the report should be uh, thought of and dedicated to accordingly adopted. Treatment of quotations should be placed in quotation marks and double space, formatting immediate part of a text. Footnotes, if there are, uh, the footnotes are the notes placed in the bottom of the page, as I have already told you. Here you are giving reference one and writing number one footnote. If the two footnotes are coming, two references are coming on a page, then it will be a one and two, and the reference should be given in any of the form, MLA, BA, or Harvard, or whatever. Documentation style, regarding documentation, the first footnote reference to any given work should be complete in its document, giving all the essential facts about the edition used. Such documentary footnotes follow a general sequence. Here in this university, the footnote are not required to be done. All the references should go to the reference section from the journal, general chapters. The common order may describe as under, regarding the single volume reference, regarding the multi-volume reference, regarding work arranged alphabetically, regarding the periodicals reference, regarding the anthologies and collection reference, quotations from anthology or collection of literary work must be acknowledged. It is not required to say here. It is important that everything should be acknowledged. So regarding second-hand quotations reference, in such cases, the documentation should be handled as follows: original author and title name quoted or cited in second author and work. Case of multiple authorship, If there are more than two authors or editors, then in the documentation, the name of only the first is given and multiple authors indicated by ETAL. Yeah? And others, इसका मतलब होता है and others. You have seen that in different definitions. है ना, Mr. Such and such and ETAL. It is not necessary that you have to every time write all the authors. Just write ETAL. Punctuation and abbreviation in the footnotes is also important. The first item after the number in the footnote is the author's name given in the normal signature order. This is followed by a comma. After the comma, the title of the book is to be given. The articles such as a and the whatever is to be omitted. Only the first word and popular nouns and adjectives are capitalized. Use of statistic charts in graphs is also one of the part of that. A judicious use of the statistical research report is often considered a virtue for its contributes and great deal towards the clarification and simplification of the material research results. The final draft, revising the and rewriting through draft of the report should be done with the great care before writing the final draft. I already explained you that you have to show your report to somebody else to catch the errors, your grammatical mistakes or any other big errors. Sometimes the errors are not catched by those who are making the reports. The others may catch it. Bibliography should be prepared and appended to the research report as discussed here. Preparation of the index or appendix at the end of the report, and index should invariably be given the value of which lies in the fact that in fact as a good guide to the reader. Here in our university, I have told you in the index or appendix we use generally the questionnaire as well as the research paper which have already been published. And if any certification is required from the supervisor, is to be annexed here in annexure. This is also important that effective communication for any presentation of your research report is that, and you will face a number of at least six RDCs, and you have to present your work. Start with your, after clearing your coursework, you will have to present your synopsis first in 10-15 slides. What exactly you want to do, and what is the topic title of your, what are the proposed objectives and hypothesis you are presenting. It should be in a proper presentation. There should not be any grammatical mistakes in that also. That will be catched by the external examiner. So there are 7 C's of communication: the correct, complete, concrete, concise, considerable, courteous, and clear. So these 7 C's are important to be kept in the mind while presenting any of your research by a paper or any research part. So these 7 principles of communication are useful way to ensure good research communication. The 7 C's of communication provide useful checklist as a result of which both written and verbal communication pass off in a clear, plain, target, group-oriented, and well-structured manner. So it is also equally important to learn the art of presenting of a research findings by the researcher. So how beautifully you can explain your research. It should not contain the matters like I have in my PPT, because I prepared this PPT in order to serve as a notes also. तो इसलिए मैं थोड़ी सी डिटेल पीपीटी बनाता हूँ स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, ताकि वो नोट्स का भी पर्पस सर्व कर दे. But your PPT should not be like that because you are presenting your research work. You have to be very concise, very clear, and only the point should be mentioned in that. If you are giving any table, it should not be a big table and the numbers are not seen by the examiner or evaluator. So that will be a very difficult. So it is also equally important to learn the art of presentation of research findings by researchers. You may have obtained very interesting results, but communicating your findings effectively is also very important. All the findings should not be mentioned, and only the crux of that has to be mentioned in different points. So when you are, if you are going to present your synopsis, what you will do, you will have to give your topic, your proposed objectives, your proposed hypothesis, and a very brief introduction of your research topic, your research problem, research question, and 4 5 only review of literature from where you have get your research gap. So that's it. That's very important for the synopsis. Not more than 8 slides. That is quite enough for your synopsis presentation in front of the 8, 9, 10 slide. That's it. So timing, audience, content, organization, presentation tools, tone and body language of the speaker is important, as you know. Which has been discussed here. The success of presentation lies on your ability to understand your audience and accordingly make the presentation. If presenting in a conference of a specialized field like 50 or CII or thesis presentation, you may expect peers or experts of the field as your audience. So you have to be very careful about the things you are presenting. They have better knowledge than you. On the other hand, if you are presenting in conferences, you may expect general audience from various fields. It depends upon what kind of audience is there. But in your presentation of RDCs, at least the experts will be there. But if you are going to present your paper in different conferences, and which you have to do now, आप लोग conferences में participate करिए, अपना abstracts पढ़ के आइए, present करिए, you will feel better about your topic on which you want to work. A lot of conferences are open nowadays, and some are free and some are very nominal, charging very nominal charges, and you have to present your paper over there. Content, you need not present all details. Plan the contents of your presentation. Keep in mind the timings and audience before deciding the content. Think about the take-home message you want to give the audience to make your presentation interesting. Take a step back and think what made you interesting to take up. ऐसा नहीं होगा वो जो आजकल चल रही है ना कि घूमती हुई स्लाइड्स आ रही है, that is not required. वो उसकी देखो, it should be simple, clear and interesting, not very colorful also. Organizational contents, once you have decided the contents, it is a time to organize them. Following are the general points to remember. First, reach the audience and introduce yourself, and then start your presentation. Then make it interesting but simple. Your title of the research paper or research article which you are going to present in a conference. Background of the project, keep it very brief in a one slide. Objective that made you undertake this project and what would you like to examine. Methods means keep it brief, highlight the key points, use flowcharts, diagrams, and schematics, pictures, short video clips if you want. That is not required in your RDCs, but in some other places you can also use the video clips also. Results, the most important part, show only the key results. Club the similar type of results together instead of showing single graph for each parameters. In the discussion, compare the related work by others. Conclusion and future discussion and acknowledgement, Presentation tools, these days everybody use PowerPoint presentation, the most effective tool of presentation. And few points to remember while using your PowerPoint presentation are discussed here. Choose background color and text color in such a way so that it would be visible in more and less any interior lighting. Do not go for fancy and keep in a basic. Most importantly, be consistent throughout. Do not use different background color for different slides. It should be similar and consistent in all the slides. If you are using the logo of the organization, it should be used in all the slides. But very small logo should be used. Do not play with colors using multiple colors only when required to distinguish or highlight some pinpoints or points. You may use animation but do not overdo it. Use only if required. It is okay to waste slides space but never overcrowd
Sir, इसका
slides
क्या
are never.
इसका क्या?
क्या?
It is okay to waste slide space but never over.
You should not use the slide should not be congested. I see. कि आपने पिक्चर भी यूज कर रखी है उसमें नाम और मेटस भी यूज कर रखे हैं तो it should not be so crowded. The slide should be open. Should have only the crux points only. Or if you are giving a figure, then you have to give a figure only. आपने ऐसा नहीं कि आधे में मैटर दे दिया आधे में आपने फिगर दे दी दोनों चीजें दे दी वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. The which is written here that you can explain it, and which is there in the part of a picture that has to be given in the slide. It is okay to waste the slide space, but do not overcrowd it. Tone and body language of the speaker, talk in a audible voice so that everybody can hear you clearly. Talk slowly and pronounce clearly each word. Always face the audience and never read your slides from line to line. You can read only the points which are written there, but you should not read everything which is written there. And that's why I said that slide should contain only the points, not the matter. To make eye contact with your audience, if you have knowledge about that particular point, you can have your face in front of the audience and you can face the audience. If you are not prepared fully, then you will have to read each and every line of the slide. That should not be said to be a good sign of one presenter. To make eye contact with your audience is important. To think about the questions audience may ask. Patience make one much refined and confident, but never be overconfident, over aggressive to prove your point. Thank you so much. Any question from anyone? Yes.
So I have a question. As you said that in reference style we have something like MLA style or the Maqbool style or the
Howard style, yeah.
So what styles we use in management? What different styles we use in management?
I already said that generally we use AMA style in management. Yeah, AMA style is very common, and in my department I usually use AMA and instruct the scholars to use the AMA style. Anybody else? अटेंडेंस हो गई आपको? एनी क्वेश्चन? नो? The next part of this unit is I think what is this research ethics. Yeah? That I should take it tomorrow, but tomorrow I am will be on leave, so I'll take it on the next Friday. Okay?
Is there a class tomorrow?
No, there will be no class.
There is no
You will get email from the president.
There is no class.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll meet you. Sorry, come here. Please keep quiet. Keep quiet. Now you are a scholar, not a student. Ah. Yes, yes, you are right. Yeah, you are right.